Joining me right now is Heritage Foundation Senior Fellow for China Strategy, Michael Pillsbury. Michael, great to have you. Thanks for being here. We've been questioning why the number of nationals from China are coming in increasingly up 1,100% year over year. What is your reaction to what you just heard?
Well, it's very impressive that Congressman Mark Green would have this legislation, have co-sponsors, be ready to go. This is the kind of thing that we've been missing from both the House and the Senate, is actual legislation that is drafted and passes. I wish him well. I hope this does, in fact, pass the House and become legislation. It's so obvious, as Congressman Green points out, it's so obvious that part of a preparation for a Chinese invasion of Taiwan would be domestic activities here inside the United States. So this is going to be, Maria, I think this is going to be a test case, this piece of legislation. If we can't get anything as common sense and as logical as this passed by both houses and signed by the president, to me, Maria, it means we're in real trouble, that we just can't take action against China. We can talk about the China threat, but this example from Congressman Mark Green, along with a few others that are happening, it's really a test of our country to see if we can save ourselves from being surpassed by China. So I wish him well, and I think we ought to watch what happens to his legislation.
Really well said there, Michael. I could not agree more. It's also a test about how compromised Joe Biden is, because we know from the House Republicans he's taken in millions and millions of dollars. Will he actually pull the trigger and sign something like that? Because, you know, all of these Chinese nationals, the other thing we're finding is we're finding many of them at military sites, trying to access our military sites. Now we know that China's military is sending more than 100 fighter jets toward Taiwan repeatedly. They did so again earlier this week. A new piece in the Journal is warning that these demonstrations are no longer about sending a political message, but now the intent is to improve China's ability to encircle Taiwan, neutralize the island's natural advantages, and block the United States from helping in an event of that invasion, Michael. When would you expect something like this to take place, an invasion?
Well, we have to be ready. Sometimes our admirals and generals use the term fight tonight, which is a little melodramatic, but I think we have to be prepared. There's two different things are happening, Maria, that are in competition. The Chinese, as the Wall Street Journal, I think, correctly points out, the Chinese are practicing. This is not just a military signal to scare people. They want to see how the election goes in January. If the pro-China group wins, if Mayor Ho becomes the president of Taiwan, a huge problem goes away for Taiwan, because he's already for military detente. He wants exchanges. He wants to kind of deconflict the situation. On our side, we have no preparations. We still don't have any munitions stored on Taiwan. This is in the NDAA, but it hasn't passed yet. We don't do exercises with the Taiwan military. So while China prepares for war, at least practices these maneuvers, on our side, we don't have any counter reaction because of the one China policy being so narrowly interpreted. So this, too, is really a test to see what we can do to resist and to deter Chinese aggression. I'm getting pessimistic that our side just has handcuffs on our wrists that we cannot practice the defense of Taiwan.
Yeah, especially since we've got all of these Chinese companies in index funds and mutual funds, and some of those companies have already been sanctioned. How is it possible that we have sanctioned companies in funds, and possibly the thrift fund, which is the 401k for government employees, which is basically enabling investors to fund the expansion of communist China, of our number one adversary?
Yes, that's right. And I think the power in this situation goes to Janet Yellen. She had the power to draft a much more restrictive executive order. You know, President Biden signed it. He does invoke an emergency and say that in the future we have to get American companies to report before they invest in high-tech sectors in China. But there's a little loophole. It doesn't go into effect for 1 year. It's a commentary period now, and it only that are explicitly investing in either AI or quantum computing. Now, almost anybody in China could say, oh, I don't do that, and then the investment will continue. You know, Roger Robinson's numbers are $2 or $3 trillion.
That's right. And Roger Robinson is among those, many others. He was in charge of China strategy in a past administration, but he's one of many who have called that legislation that Janet Yellen oversaw soft on China. Again, soft on China.